From a young age, I've always been a very happy kid. I always had an excitement for life, and that came from simply existing, or joie de vivre, as the French call it. I loved to ride the bus. I was excited to answer questions in class, and I was enthralled by watching people get amped up, talking about the things they were passionate about. Because of this, as an adult, I became accustomed to identifying and appreciating the love around me. Whether it's dew on the grass, early in the morning, getting home a couple minutes earlier than anticipated, or even coming back home from a night out and realising I left my room clean. It simply feels good to be thankful and appreciative, and it's pretty easy. It makes life easier to be happy, which led me to conduct an experiment, asking people from varying ages, financial statuses, educational backgrounds, races and sexualities, how does one be happy? And these answers all boil down to one thing. Welcome back to Keep It Simple Sid, where I create video essays about human behaviour to create a community full of inquisitive people, sharing ideas and promoting discussions on how we can better understand ourselves and relate to one another. And today's episode is on how to increase happiness. And the answer to that question is, you choose to be happy. It's not easy, but it is simple. In order to be happy, you need to take the moments that makes you feel unpleasant and actively replace your patterns with a new one. You don't run a marathon without at first running a mile, nor do you take a test without studying and expect to pass. How could you expect to do something you've never done before if you've never done it before? When I find myself getting cut off in traffic or getting very agitated at someone, purposely trying to get under my skin, like many people, my first immediate reaction is an emotional one. I act out as a lot of people do. But to break your cycle, the pattern must be different. Utilising these day-to-day experiences as opportunities rather than inconveniences allows you to actively retrain your brain into new habits and create new narratives. When you do that, and start following through on doing the things you said you would, you realise how much control you actually have over your life. For people that regard themselves as someone that feels deeply about things emotionally, whether you are easily angered, easily offended, easily brought to tears, this can seem like a daunting task to tell yourself not to feel what you feel, but it's not about suppressing emotions. To know exactly how you feel in any given moment is such an incredible skill. Whether the experience is good or bad, being able to pinpoint what emotion is being evoked from you is freedom. Freedom not only from others, knowing how to prevent others from getting under your skin, but freedom from yourself against your negative emotions. The amygdala is the part of your brain that helps in processing emotions, memory, and decision-making. It's known for its role in the fight or flight in the body. This part is also the region that processes both excitement and anxiety. As we recalled in the episode about perception, what we experience in our head is a conglomeration of our internal lived experiences meeting an external experience from our reality. We then bridge the gap to connect these things, which creates our perception. It's important to remember our brain lives in our skull, unable to see anything, only guided by the narratives we feed it. If your ears hear a boom and your eyes see smoke, we feed this information to our brain to draw conclusions whether or not we are safe. Was that fireworks? Did a car explode? Was it a gunshot? These responses ring in our brain, triggering our fight or flight to keep us safe. But what if we could use this to our advantage to make us happier and control our emotions? It's a very human response to get anxious when public speaking, meeting new people or trying something you haven't before. But remember, the amygdala is the home of both anxiety and excitement, which means the exact same mechanics are involved when experiencing both these emotions. The only difference is the narrative that we build and how it triggers the brain. The symptoms we get from anxiety occurs after we tell ourselves to be anxious, not before. So next time you are in an environment where you are public speaking or doing something that makes you anxious, try tricking your brain into thinking and saying to yourself, you're excited to talk to new people, or if you have a fear of flying, you're excited to get to your destination. See how your body reacts when take responsibility for all parts of you, behaviourally, mentally, socially. It becomes so much clearer where to make adjustments on the parts of you that don't make you happy. Why? Why put in the work? We know we should be happy, but when life brings tumultuous situations, why is it important to endure? Sometimes we can find ourselves in a rut, and being happy doesn't quite seem and feel worth the work it requires. How does one strive to even want to live a happy life when they haven't felt the feelings of being happy in such a long time? What if they don't value themselves or the effort it takes to make oneself happy? We always hear there will never be another you, but how significant is your life truly? Well, for you to exist on this earth is extremely unlikely. Out of 8 billion people, you need to find 2 specific people. They must be put on the same timeline of human history. Prior to them even meeting, each person must be on the same timeline as so many others, like their friends, family, the 5th grade teacher who made an impact on them, to mould and shape them into the person they are with the skills that they have. And those people must have been prepared and gone through their own paths to impact you the way they did. Trillions and trillions of decisions creating this one individual and then the same for the other person. They must meet on the same continent, same state and same city on the same day at the exact same time. They cannot wake up late. They cannot take that phone call. They can't even brush their hair one stroke more. The timing must be perfect. When they meet and reproduce, you then need to win a race against 100 million to 300 million other competitors before the conception even occurs, and for about 273 days you need to survive inside the womb. For you to be exactly the person that you are, the odds are about 1 in 400 trillion. You simply, mathematically, cannot create another you and be on this earth as easily as you believe. When reflecting on this data, it all makes sense. From my earliest memories, I could always remember being so happy, and why wouldn't I, when I just won a 1 in 400 trillion lottery. Maybe this is why I notice things as minuscule as the dew on the grass, marvelling over getting home a couple minutes earlier and coming back to a clean room. Understanding how intentional your life is and valuable the opportunity you have to forge your own path can't help but make you feel gratitude. And the more other things matter, a lot less. The less others' negative opinions matter, the less rejections hurt, and the less people cutting you off in traffic or trying to get under your skin really matters. Retrain your brain to not act on impulse and be so susceptible to eliciting a negative reaction, and you will truly be free. The first law of thermodynamics, also known as the law of conservation of energy, states energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred. So don't transfer your positive energy into things that have no significance. Keep it here and keep it simple, Sid.